If you get your Google business profile address wrong, you can either disappear from Google Maps entirely or actually get your profile suspended. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how your address works on Google, the difference between a physical address, a service area business, and a hybrid, and how to pick the best option for your specific business so you can rank higher and stay within Google's guidelines. If you don't know who I am, my name is Munir. I'm the co-founder of a local SEO marketing agency called Vixel Studio. We've proudly generated over $12 million for over 100 local service companies. You can see all of our case studies and testimonials on vixelstudio.com of how much money we've generated for our clients. So firstly, why is your address such a big deal? So your address is actually one of the most important factors when it comes to showing up on Google Maps. If you search for your main keyword on Google, you'll notice that the businesses at the top usually have a physical address in that city. So getting your address set up properly and legally is a big deal. So this is a company called Mainland Roofing Company, and you can see that their PIN or their address is right here. And you can see that they rank number 1 on Google Maps. Whenever someone searches for Roofing Company Miami, they rank number 1 right here. And as you go further and further away from that pin, you'll see that their rankings slowly drop. So they rank number 4 over here just because there's other competitors with addresses over here. However, if this company, Mainland Roofing Company, did not have their address here, they would not show up anywhere on this area at all. And knowing how the address works is really important because if we decide to move this address into this area right here, into Hollywood, because we decide to change the address, that means that we will get more leads in this area right here because we show up in Google in this area here. So Google gives you 3 ways that you can set up your location. The first one being a physical address. So this is for businesses where customers can come to your location and there is clear permanent signage with your business name. So this could be like a dentist, a restaurant, or a retail store, for example. And this has the strongest ranking power, as I showed you before, because Google can clearly see that you are a real local business in that spot. It is near impossible to have your Google business profile ranked on Google if you do not have a physical address, especially if there's local competitors like this example right over here. To do this, you must show your full address on your profile. You can't decide to hide your address on the Google business profile. Google also states that you must be staffed and able to receive customers during your stated business hours. We're going to talk about what this means for more service type businesses, but for brick and mortar, this should be true. And there should be permanent signage with your business name at that address so people can actually know where it is. Now, these are the rules for service area businesses. This is more for businesses that go to customers and do not serve customers at their own address. So this could be like a plumber, a cleaner, electrician, or even roofing in this example here. However, this has the weakest ranking power, and you'll find that most businesses that do rank have a physical address. And to really drive the point home, I searched here for Roofing Company Miami, and you'll see that as I hover through each one of the companies, it'll highlight their PIN or their physical address on the map. So with a service area business, you are allowed to hide your street address from the public, and you can add in multiple areas that you serve, up to 20 areas, and your service area should not extend more than 2-hour drive from your base. So this is straight from Google's guidelines, and it says right here, for example, if you're a plumber and run your business from your residential address, clear the address from your Google business profile. So now you're probably wondering, when you're like, you just showed me a bunch of roofing companies in Miami that have a physical address, but they don't operate their business from there. So how can they do this? And that's because they're more of a hybrid business. So hybrid business is when you have a location where you could do business, but the majority of your business happens outside of there. So for example, if you're a pizza restaurant with dine-in plus delivery, and let's say most customers do delivery, or in this case, you're a contractor with a small office that people could come to, but most of your work happens outside. So this could be your home address, but you must prove to Google that people are able to visit your home to receive services. And I always recommend a hybrid business where you verify the physical address, you show proof to Google that you do operate from there. And I recommend this because you're able to get the ranking benefit of a physical address while still servicing your clients at their home or wherever they're at. So let's say you're a service type business and you want a physical address. What can you do to get a physical address but still serve people outside? So this is what Google allows. If done correctly, Google will allow you to use a co-working space if you have clear signage with your business name at that location. You can use signs.com or Vistaprint to print the exact logo of your company with the exact business name on it, and that you can use that in your verification video. I have a whole guide. I'm going to put the link in the description of the video verification guide, but this will help you prove to Google if you put these signs on the outside of your office. This will help prove that you actually operate from that location. Google also states that the co-working space must be staffed by your team during business hours. For service-based businesses, it's very unlikely that people will actually drive to your office to get a quote. Most will just call or email or fill out a form. I don't worry about this too much for service-based businesses. And it says that customers can actually visit you there. Google doesn't say that this has to be shown during the video verification, but just having a few chairs that potential clients could come and talk to you if needed. Sometimes showing that in the video verification can help. What's not allowed is you can't use a PO box or a mailbox to use that as your address. You can't use a virtual office or rent a mailing address where you don't really work or receive customers. And listing your home as a storefront if customers never come, and especially if there's no signage, won't get past Google's guidelines. So if you want to change your address, you can just search the name of your business right here. You can press on edit profile. And then if you scroll down, you'll see location and areas. So you can turn this on and off. If you turn this off, you turn more into a service area business, meaning that it'll only show the service area right here. But if you decide to show your business address, you get the ranking benefit. You can put in your address right here. And if you decide to change it and press save, Google will then ask you to re-verify it very shortly after. I have a whole guide about video verification down in the description below, so you can use that to help you ensure that you get the video verification passed. So in conclusion, what's the best option? What I always recommend is to have business owners rent out a very small office. It can only be just like a few $100s a month, and ensure that they have enough physical signage like stickers or permanent signs around the office to ensure that it can pass verification. Because having your business show up on Google just because your address is visible can be the difference between getting 0 leads from Google and getting hundreds per month from Google. That means that even if you have more reviews than other businesses, they will show up higher just because they have a physical address and you don't. You could be a service area business and have 300 reviews, but if there's one physical location in your competitive area and they have 10, 20, or even 30, they're more likely to show up than you. A small office doesn't have to cost more than just a few $100s per month, but can generate much more than that in revenue for your specific type of business. If you have any questions about Google Business Profile addresses, leave them down in the comments below. I will read them, and I'll see you guys in the next one.